Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Radhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gaurvani Pracharine, Nirvisheshanavadi, Paschati Deshatarine. Can you... Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we are live, Mataji.
Thank you very much. So, welcome. We continue chapter 7, Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of the absolute. Let's pay our obeisances to Shri Shri Radha Govinda before we proceed. If you can turn on your cameras, that will be so nice. Otherwise, we are doing personal and impersonal philosophy together. So, chapter 7 has 30 verses. It's divided into 6 sections for the sake of understanding. And last time we studied knowing Krishna in full by hearing about him. So Krishna explains what really happens when one becomes eager to hear about him in verse number 1. And then Krishna reveals that he needs to be known as a source of both material and spiritual energies. And what is the benefit of knowing Krishna as a source of both material and spiritual energies? There is nothing further remaining to be known. That's the full knowledge. We don't have to seek any other source of knowledge or seek any other source of qualification if we know Krishna. How? It has to be understood in a very intelligent manner how Krishna is the source of both material and spiritual energies. And then we studied 3 modes are controlled by Krishna, where we studied Maya Metam Tarantite, the very famous verse, 14th verse. And then today we'll do D and E sections. Okay, any questions, clarifications, reflections before I go? Okay, we'll have a quick class. So in this section, Krishna talks about 4 kind of people who surrender to him and 4 kind of people who don't surrender to him. The people who surrender to him, he calls them pious. And people who don't surrender to him, he calls them impious. So piety and impiety, according to Krishna, does not depend on what kind of good work we are doing in the society. It depends on if we are surrendering to Krishna or if we are not surrendering to Krishna. This is the interesting view where we can discuss that how morality is different from spirituality in many avenues. Yes, a spiritual person tends to be moral, but is it true 100% of the time? No. So our definition of piety and impiety is different than what Krishna says. In Namam Dushkritino Mudha Prapadyante Naradama Maya Aprahita Jnana Asurim Bhavam Ashtaha. So Krishna is telling Arjun that Arjun, there are 4 kind of people who are never going to surrender to me. And he calls them Dushkritino. Prabhupada explains in the purport the meaning of the word kriti. He says kriti means activity. Dushkriti means a very menial activity which is not conducive for anyone's Krishna conscious development. So those miscreants who are grossly foolish, mudha, grossly foolish, prapadyante naradhama. Nara means human being, adhama means low, so lowest among human beings. Maya aprita jnana, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, or whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and Asrim Bhavam Ashritaha. Asri means demoniac, Bhava means nature, Ashrita means shelter. So one who has taken shelter of the demoniac nature, or who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. This is a very interesting way of, you see, Bhagavad Gita teaches us many things. It's not just a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, it's teaching us, right? So tell me, what are some of the things that Bhagavad Gita is teaching us? Between Krishna and Arjun, what are some of the things you're learning or we are learning? What are they? We're only 5 people. We all can pitch in something. Ambika Mataji, yes, Mataji. What is Bhagavad Gita teaching you? Or what are you personally learning? I'll go down the list, whatever name is appearing in my screen.
That we are the eternal servant of Krishna and our constitutional person Krishna. We are a part and parcel of Krishna.
The part and parcel of Krishna, okay. Thank you very much. Anvaya Mataji, yes. You're muted. I don't know what you're saying. Mataji, you're muted. I can see you in the camera speaking, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, we are eternal servitors of Krishna.
तो हो गया ना, part and parcel of Krishna. Oh, you see
Okay.
eternal, the word eternal, okay.
Eternal.
ठीक है. Kirti Mataji, yes Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Bhagavad Gita has so many things, Mataji. I mean, to learn, I think it's quite vast. It's not, of course, our the Sambandha Jnana, Abhidheya Jnana, Prayojana Jnana, we're learning that. And also, there are so many practical applications, Mataji, that we can put to use. I think most
Tell me
of
one.
like these this pious people and impious people, Mataji, had no idea before coming to Krishna consciousness that like these are actually considered categorized as pious. So I used to like wonder, Mataji, like why even when Krishna says in the next shloka also, he says people who are inquisitive, and I was thinking like, okay, inquisitive, they're like pious, but again he says Jnani is the best. So I had a confusion, Mataji, initially, but then after at the end of the seventh chapter, I kind of cleared my doubt, Mataji. So maybe with your teaching, I'll learn more right now.
I think we went for a jumbo ride. But anyway, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate. Shiva Srinivas Prabhuji, yes Prabhuji, what are you learning from Bhagavad Gita? Please share.
Like higher taste, by having the higher taste in Krishna consciousness is the only way to remember Krishna, or whatever we do falls under service to Krishna. That is higher taste is like developing relationship with a pure devotee and rendering all services as a service.
Your voice is cutting off for me. Are you saying higher taste?
Yeah,
Krishna
yeah.
consciousness is the higher
yes.
taste? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Krishna. Rasamai, she's still there. She was there, but she disappeared when she saw we were discussing questions. Nikhil Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. What is Krishna consciousness? What is Bhagavad Gita teaching you?
Mataji, sorry, I joined late. I understand the question is what is Bhagavad Gita? Is what you are learning from Bhagavad Gita, right?
Different things.
Okay.
Tell me one thing. Personal to you.
Personal to you. Okay. Okay.
I know it's hard for you. Just
No,
got out of bed, I think.
I just I'm getting the 5. What I understand from the purport also initially in the introduction.
You're getting what? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. Did the connection go? I think, can you all hear me? Yes? Okay, I hear the head nodding. Okay, maybe his connection is gone. All right, so here we see that Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to live in this world and not being part of this world, but use this world as a launching pad to go to another world. Right? How to be here and not get affected by it. And there's no other science that teaches us this skill of being here, but also not being a part of it. So here, it is very interesting that how many of us actually categorize people in our life. Okay, you think about it and tell me. People really categorize people in different lives that, okay, these are the kind of people that that actually I'll have a relationship with of any sort, and these are the type of people I am not going to have. So this is like drawing boundaries, right? It's like drawing boundaries. It's this verse. Personally, I learn how to draw boundary. If Krishna knows that there are people who are not going to surrender unto me, so it's fine. I'll still do what it takes for me to do to maintain them, but they're not going to come to me. It's not going to happen. So it helps us to save a lot of time and energy and emotional investment. Because Krishna is himself teaching from his own teaching to Arjun to do this. Okay, so we have to stop beating around the bush. So when we say that, okay, I have some obstacles in coming to Krishna consciousness, I think I said that, right? Sridhar Swami said, this is a joke, by the way. But for example, what I'm trying to draw a corollary, that Sridhar Swami said that biggest obstacle of a conditioned soul to come to Krishna is what? We discussed it last time. What is the biggest obstacle in coming to Krishna for a conditioned soul? What is it? Okay, you all are boring. He said Mahapap. The biggest obstacle in coming to Krishna for a conditioned soul is Mahapap. But then there is a joke in India which goes around, but in India, the biggest obstacle in coming to Krishna is Ma-Bap. So basically, so are we gonna blame people around us that, okay, you're not gonna let me surrender to Krishna, you're not gonna let me surrender to Krishna, or are we gonna develop some sort of acceptance that I am in this world and there's always going to be duality, there's always going to be a repulsion, and there's always going to be an attraction, but can I walk past it? This verse teaches so many things, not just externally, as Krishna is categorizing four categories of people who will never come to him, but internally it has a bigger reason, which you can apply in your own life, each one of us. Dushkritinaha, it means that their kriti or their activity is misdirected. It's not directed properly. They're doing activity, but the activity is not leading them to Krishna. Who are those? Naradhama, lowest of mankind. Asrim bhavamashitaha, envious towards God, atheistic demons. Maya pratagyana, very big scientists, very big philosophers, very big logicians, mathematicians, not going to Krishna. So Krishna says the real knowledge is stolen by Maya or his external energy. Mudha, grossly foolish, assuming burden of responsibilities after responsibilities after responsibilities, but not really understanding what is my core responsibility as a soul. That's Mudha. So what are these examples? This is Namnishwar slide. So this is a donkey. What does it represent? What kind of a person or four kind of people? He knows there's grass everywhere. Mudha. Why? Because he knows there's grass everywhere, but then he thinks that unless and until he works hard, being a very responsible donkey, he'll not get it. So that way, a conditioned soul feels insecure about its existence in the material world. You feel insecure. That's why I feel I need to work. And if I don't work, I will not get my ends meet. This is a sense of insecurity, because then the work and the money that comes with work, or the perks that come with work, bring the sense of security, right? So according to Krishna, it's fine. I'm not saying even if you become Krishna conscious, stop working and start only chanting 24/7, because we're not there yet. But understand that that's not the reality. You at least understand that my maintenance in this material world is not dependent on anything other than Krishna's mercy. This Jagai Madai represent what category? Jaldi bolo.
Naradhama.
Radhama. Okay. Why? Because lowest among mankind, because of their heinous activities they were doing. This is Mr. Ravan. Mr. Ravan represents what category? Radhama, then Mudha, Asrim Bhavam Ashtaha, Maya Pritagyana. What does Mr. Ravan represent?
Maya Pratagyana Mataji.
He's Asura also, no?
Asuram Bhavam, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It could be Maya Pritagyana. If you read Prabhupada's purport with fine lines, it says, okay, he's a very big Vedic scholar, he's a philosopher, but the intelligence is misdirected. But obvious in his behavior is that he's a demon. Okay, Maya Pratagyana, we discussed the obvious examples are very big logicians, big educators, philosophers, but they don't surrender to Krishna. Now, does it make us superior to them? Because then we can also You see, Krishna consciousness is such a, Prabhupada called it, it's like walking on a razor's edge. Then if you walk on a razor's edge and you're not careful, then actually the same razor can cut and the blood can come out, right? So Krishna consciousness, we can understand, okay, these are the 4 kind of people who are not surrendering to Krishna, but I am not in any of the 4 categories, therefore I am superior to all of them. Is this Krishna consciousness? Where I
No,
analyze
Mataji.
like this. Why?
No.
Why? Why? Why is
Because
it
you
not?
have to surrender to Krishna. For surrendering, therefore, at least we are not on the level of pure devotees where we say that I don't want anything.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So that also phase will come, but first I think like we have to go through this phase. That phase will come, when we are pure in our devotion. But just born with pure devotion, I feel is very rare.
Yeah, no, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, someone else. Thank you, Mataji. So this question I raised is that there are 4 kind of people Krishna has disclosed who don't surrender to him. And I may think that, okay, I am not Naradhama. I am not a Mudha. I am not Maya Pratagyana. And I am not Asarim Bhavamashita. Therefore, I am superior. So my question is this Krishna consciousness, if I start feeling myself by negating, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. Anya Mataji said no, because she says that we are not pure devotees. I think she said that. Well, I want to
Hare
hear other
Krishna,
opinion. Other opinion. Yes, Mataji. Ambika Mataji.
If we are thinking like that, we are having false ego, and
Okay.
so we are not in pure Krishna consciousness.
So only a pure devotee can surrender to Krishna? Impure devotee cannot surrender to Krishna? Shiva
Yeah,
Srinivas Prabhu.
Yeah, it is like a process, Mataji. It's not an
Mm.
event. Like
Mm.
the moment we surrender, because these tendencies are still existing.
Mm.
So until and unless they get purified, it's a process. Like as we surrender, we get purified. As we surrender, we get purified. So
Okay, but then is this Krishna consciousness? If I not categorize myself as one of the 4 categories which do not surrender to Krishna ever, and I say, okay, I'm not all these 4 things, then I am probably a very Krishna conscious person. I'm better than them. Is that Krishna consciousness?
no, that is only a negative part. Where is like negating, negation.
Very nice. Very nice. So what you are, you don't know. Okay. Okay. Nikhil Prabhu, you're unmuted. Would you like to say something?
Mataji, so it's basically like we are getting our spiritual ego back. The moment we get an ego back, ego, then again we are in the same in the material thing. I am better than yours. My spirituality is better than yours. The moment we think like this, we are again fallen into that trap. Ego, the moment we have this ego, any kind of ego, that humble arrogance also, that I am a better devotee or I am a better person. The moment we start comparing ourselves with other people, we are again fallen into that,
So the soul
lower
doesn't
level.
have any ego? Soul is a egoless entity?
Okay, that is the ego is that I am the eternal servitor of Krishna. I'm the part and parcel of Krishna. That is the main ego.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing, everyone. So it is not Krishna consciousness because it is not going to please Krishna. That mentality that I am not in all these 4 categories is not going to please to Krishna, is it? Let's say somebody comes to your house and they say, okay, I have a right to come to your house because I'm not a drug addict, because I'm not a homeless person, because I'm not uneducated, because I'm not poor, because I'm not, I don't know, I don't have any criminal cases against me, therefore I can come to your house. Is this a very pleasing reason for a person to come to your house? or in your
Very
life?
well said.
No.
No,
No.
Mataji.
It's not gonna please Krishna. This categorization is not gonna please Krishna. And actually, we have been studying demons of Vrindavan, right? So, what demon have you? Anyone of you been coming to those classes? Rupa Mataji is coming. Andre Mataji, you're not there, right? Morning class.
I'm not there, Mataji.
Okay. So so different demons represent different kinds of anarthas. So the demon that represents this anartha, the intercommunal differences, is forest fire. He has two forest fires, like forest fire number 1 after Kaliya Daman and forest fire number 2 after Pralambasura's killing. So both the forest fire interestingly represent both this demoniac tendency. So this is a demoniac tendency to categorize oneself as this. Krishna can categorize. For example, if somebody comes to your house, you can categorize what kind of relationship you're going to have with that person. You can do that. Are you going to, Namnish Prabhu tells me often, if somebody comes to your temple, are you going to take them directly to the DD room and say, okay, now come and serve our DDs? Yeah, are you going to do that in your own temples? You're going to, okay, this is my DDs, now you take over the temple, the DD worship. You're going to do that?
No.
No, Mataji.
We're not gonna do that. So we can do that. If somebody comes to us, we can categorize. So Krishna can categorize, but I cannot categorize myself because it's not pleasing to the heart. Even saying it is not pleasing because it's not pleasing Krishna. Okay, but why is it so important? It is important because it sharpens our intelligence. And what is the function of intelligence?
To differentiate.
To discriminate.
Yeah, to discriminate what I'm going to work with and what I'm not going to work with, to be able to discriminate. So leave it there. And then he says there are 4 kind of people who do surrender to me. Now, this was my next part of the question, because some of you said because we are not pure devotees. So is pure devotional service the sole requirement to surrender to Krishna? A person who's not a pure devotee can never surrender to Krishna. Let's see what Krishna says. Krishna's story from Krishna's mouth. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna artho jigyasur artharti gyani cha bharatashrabha. O best among the Bharats, Arjun, 4 kind of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute truth or absolute. So, Jana Sukritina Arjuna, Artho, one who is distressed, Jigyasur, or one who is a desire, Artho Jigyasur, or one who is like in distress, Artharti, one who is desire of wealth, Gyani, one who is searching for knowledge, Artho, and Jigyasur is inquisitive, sorry. Artho is in distress, out of distress, person comes to Krishna. Jigyasur, inquisitiveness brings them to Krishna. Artharthi, desire to possess wealth brings them to Krishna. Gyani, desire to search for knowledge brings them to Krishna. Okay, and then in chapter 9, we will study 3 more category of people who surrender to Krishna. So basically, Bhagavad Gita is telling us 7 kind of people who surrender to Krishna, not 4, which we will study in chapter 9. So I'll just go over this and then you tell me what category what is. This is Gajendra. He's surrendering to Krishna. What kind of category is he in? Artho, Artharti, Jigyasu, or Jnani?
Distress.
Distressed. Okay, Arthi. This is Draupadi. During then they tried to disrobe her. They tried, but they couldn't. She surrendered to Krishna. What category?
Distress again.
Distress. This is Sukdev Goswami. He was being begged by his parents to come out, but he couldn't come. He didn't come out. Only on the request of Krishna did he come out, when he assured him that, okay, when you come out, you will not be attacked by the material modes of nature. You'll remain my devotee. What category?
Gyani.
Gyani, very good. Now this is Parikshit Maharaj and Sukdev Goswami. So Parikshit Maharaj is surrendering. What category?
Inquisitive.
Yes, interestingly, it is inquisitive. Yes. Okay, Dhruva Maharaj. What category?
Artharti.
Artharti, very good. Sugriv, surrender to Lord Ram. when he promised that I will enthrone you. Artharti, very good.
Artharti.
Suta Goswami, with all the sages at Naimisharanya. The sages at Naimisharanya surrendered with
Jidnyasu.
Inquisitive.
inquisitive. Again, very nice. Yes, inquisitive. So, did Krishna come for all of them?
No.
No.
Did he
Yes.
come
Yes.
to save Gajendra?
Yes.
Yes, he came for all of
Did
them.
he come to save Draupadi?
Yes.
Yes.
Did he come for Sukdev Goswami?
Yes.
Yes.
Did he appear for Parikshit Maharaj,
Yes.
Dhruva Maharaj, Sugriv, sages at Naimisharanya? Are any one of them pure devotees to begin with?
No.
So we don't have to put obstacles in our devotional service to Krishna. We don't have to say ourselves, because it is quite obvious. Krishna has open door policy. See that, okay, unless and until I become a pure devotee of Krishna, I cannot approach Krishna. That's not what Krishna is saying. That is why Krishna consciousness is called as what? It is not dependent on anything and it is not checked by anything. What are the words that describe that?
I lost the connection. What happened?
Rain freeze, right, for this class?
Yes, yes. We got you back, Mataji.
We lost you for
Oh.
a second, Mataji.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I kept talking. I'm saying then what kind of bhakti is that where Krishna consciousness is not dependent on anything and is not checked by anything? What are the words that describe that quality of bhakti?
Ahaituki
Very nice. Ahetukiya pratihata. Yenatmasu prasidati. So Krishna consciousness is not a part of this world. Okay, but something which is not a part of this world is not going to be governed by the laws of this world. Right? For example, Srila Prabhupada says in India, the driving is on the, oh my God, left side is in left side, Hana? Driving is on the left.
Yes.
Now, in Western countries, the driving is on the right side. So the laws that are governing Indian driving are not going to govern the driving in the Western world. And the laws which govern driving in the Western world are not going to govern Indian driving because they are different places. So what I'm trying to say is the laws that govern our life in this material world are not going to be the same as they govern our relationship with Krishna. It's never going to be the same. So in any way, this is actually an encouragement. It doesn't matter. Just go to Krishna. Pure devotee or not a pure devotee or desirer, have a lot of ambitions and desires. It does not matter because Krishna is accepting it. See, Krishna is not judging anyone. We judge because we are part of this material world. Krishna is not. He does not. His love is unconditional. What is unconditional love means? There is no condition attached. He just loves it. He just loves us. There's no condition. That is why it's the best philosophy. It's the best life because there's no judgment, you know. Do we like to be judged? Do we like to be judged by how we look?
No.
By our age, by our qualification? Sometimes some people like to be judged by qualification or age or look or... But it doesn't sustain, you know, it will not sustain. It may be, it's momentary, hai, but it will not be like a everyday, okay, you are this, you are that. Okay, fine. Like, tell me more, you know, let's do something else. So, do we like to be judged? We like to be, you did this wrong. You don't, so it's not going to sustain. So, Krishna knows that psychological level of our existence. Says, I'm not going to judge you, just come to me. So, pious people are adherent of regulatory principles of scriptures and follow more moral and social laws, more or less devoted to Supreme Lord. Sukritina, Arthati, Jigyasu, Gyani. 4 categories of people. Are they pure devotees? No, because they have some aspiration to fulfill in exchange of devotional service. What is pure devotional service? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes it. Anya Abhilashita, Shunya.
Shunya.
आगे बोलो.
Jnana karma
Anavritam.
anukul krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttamam.
ठीक है. These are very nice words. When we'll come to Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, we'll discuss. But Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Shunya means void, not there, not existent. Anya Abhilasha. It's not that we are desireless, but any other desire is not existing anymore. So what desire is allowed? Desire to serve Krishna. But any other desire is Shunya. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Jnana Karma Anavritam. Jnana Karma Anavritam. Okay, Jnana and Karma are allowed only if it is conducive to develop Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. But if it is not conducive to develop Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, it is not allowed. Then, what is the next line?
Anukulena Krishnanushilana.
So this is the interesting purpose. That says Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. Anukul bhakti is allowed, means which pleases Krishna. That bhakti is allowed. The pleasing bhakti. That bhakti is Uttama bhakti. Okay, so what are the prerogatives of pure devotional service? The prerogatives of pure devotional service is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Any other desire which is against Krishna consciousness or the development of Krishna consciousness is not allowed. Jnana karma is allowed only if it leads to Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. And Anukul bhakti is allowed. And that bhakti is called as pure devotional service or Uttama bhakti. But then there is an apparent contradiction there. What is the apparent contradiction? We look at Mother Yashoda in Damodar Leela. Now she's running behind Krishna with a stick. Obviously she's not going to, the intention is to scare Krishna. Do we run behind Krishna with a stick? Like, Krishna, I've come to a temple, here you go. Or we come with awe and reverence, we bring gifts, or we come, okay, Prabhuji, Mataji, let me wash some pots. I'm so humble, let me wipe the floor, let me cut vegetables. We are always finding some productive thing to do, are we not?
Yes, Mataji.
Or are we coming with a stick like Mother Yashoda came?
No, we are trying to come to serve, to humble ourselves.
So then how Mother Yashoda's coming with a stick is Anukul Bhakti. And the other prerogative is Hiranyakashipu. Okay, however demoniac he is, but Narsimha Dev is very satisfied after ripping him apart. He rips him apart and he pulls his intestine out and he puts it as a garland. He's having so much fun, no? Narsimha Dev is having so much fun. He eats his blood. It's like, he's spending so much time and there's so much description of what is he doing. Like, how is he murdering Hiranyakashipu? There is so much description and the weapons are described in detail. No, Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham. Adbhuta Shringam. So poor guy, he died to give pleasure to Narsimha Dev. But is that Anukul Bhakti?
Pratikul.
Why? When a person died and he's having so much fun, is it not?
No.
No, Hiranyakashipu is not having fun killing. You have to read 7 canto. He's having a lot of fun. I'm not kidding. He's having a lot of fun. If Krishna will not have fun, he won't spend time. He spends good time. When the painting, have you seen that painting? With painting where Hiranyakashipu is lying on the lap of Narsimha Dev and then the intestines are around Narsimha Dev's neck and then there's blood everywhere and then Prahlad Maharaj is standing with a garland and all the demigods are on the backs with awe and reverence, folded hands. Have you seen that painting?
Yes,
So
Mataji.
I have heard from senior devotees when that painting was first drawn and it was shown to Prabhupada for proofreading. You know what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said, less blood, put more blood. You need to put more blood. So more blood was put in that painting, So basically, what is Anukul Bhakti then? Coming with a stick or dying for Krishna so he can have fun? What is Anukul Bhakti? So you see, pure devotional service is so deep. It's like whatever pleases Krishna the most. Mother Yashoda's affection for Krishna as a mother is more pleasing to Krishna. So it's not our act, but it's actually Krishna's feeling which is defining what is pure devotional service. So, destiny of the Sukritinas, they associate with pure devotees and they get purified. This is the advantage. That doesn't matter how we come. Akama sarva kama va, moksha kama udharati, tivrena bhakti yogena, na yajito. I always forget the last line. So, but I remember the zest. Akama sarva kama va, moksha kama udharati. Doesn't matter whether one has no kama, akama, no material desires. Sarva kama has all the material desires. Moksha kama, desiring liberation. This come to Krishna because by hook or by crook, if we come to Krishna, he is assuring that it leads to development of tivra bhakti, pure devotion service in due course of time. But it doesn't happen when we go to demigods. Okay, when they are free from all material desires, they fully understand that material remunerations has nothing to do with spiritual improvement. What is the hope for miscreants in regards to devotional service? For them, devotional service is difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, without spiritual goals. Is there any hope anytime? If by chance they come in contact with pure devotee, they also become a pure devotee. So it is a touch of a pure devotee that makes us a devotee. Is there anybody in this class who can say that they came to Krishna consciousness on their own and not with the help of another devotee? Anybody can say, yeah, I came to Krishna consciousness 100% on my own. No other devotee has any contribution in my journey in Krishna consciousness. Kuch to bolo.
Mataji, we started on our own, but yes, on the way we had so many, great devotees, Siksha Gurus, which has helped us to grow. But the question, to begin with, the start was, the initiative was our own.
Okay, maybe you're one of the rare people because I had never thought that I'll come to Krishna consciousness unless and until the devotees cross path. So yes, so okay, but you're acknowledging that they have contribution in our journey, right? So most of us come to Krishna consciousness by hook or by crook, by association of another devotee. Somebody gave us a book, somebody just invited us to a temple. Somebody gave us some few bites of prasadam. Somebody gave us a flower that was offered to Krishna. Somebody showed us the direction. The temple is in that direction. There's always somebody that we can give credit to. Why I'm spending so much time on it? The reason is because we're going to read about demigods in a bit. So we need to understand what is the difference between going to demigod and coming to Krishna. What's the difference? Okay, so who is the best? Krishna is saying, okay, these are the 4 kind of people who come to me. And he calls them all as what? What does he call them as? Anybody who comes to Krishna is a
Udara.
Magnanimous heart. Okay. Okay.
Great
Okay,
soul.
thank you. Great soul or Mahatma. Says like anybody who comes to Krishna is Mahatma. But out of them, distressed, Jnani, inquisitive, desire of wealth. He says Jnani is. Why Jnani is best? Why Jnani is best?
Only through the knowledge we'll be able to understand much, right, Mataji, about Krishna.
Okay, number 1. What else? Thank you. What are the other reasons he gives that Jnani is best?
He will never leave
Always.
Krishna.
No, he's always engaged in
Having
pure
come to
devotional service.
knowledge,
Is
he
Jnani
will-
a pure devotee?
No.
Then if we are not pure devotee, we can leave Krishna at any moment. Right? Somebody else was trying to say something. The chances are less. I agree, Anmya Mataji. Chances are less. Maybe you're trying to say that when a distressed person comes to Krishna, their distress is mitigated. Then they say, okay, Krishna, thank you very much. I'll go my way, you go your way. If somebody is poor, they come to Krishna and Krishna gives them wealth. Okay, Krishna, thank you. You can fulfill your own treasures. I was the one who was in need. So, what is this? Om Jai Jagdish Hare. Bhakta Jano ke Sankat. dur kare, something like that, right?
क्षण में दूर करे.
हाँ, तो मेरे संकट दूर कर दिए. Now, okay, thank you. Okay, maybe you meant that way. Okay. What is the other reason Gyani is best? Engages in pure devotional service. It is very dear to him and he is dear to the Lord. Gyani has a more chance of to quickly be engaged in devotional service. Right? And when one is in pure knowledge of transcendence of the Supreme Lord, material contamination cannot touch him. And the reason why we get affected by modes of material nature is that because we are in ignorance. Right? Why why somebody can be in more of ignorance and stay there? Because they don't know anything better. So it's darkness. But the knowledge in material world also we see that. You tell me from your life experience. People who are educated versus people who never had a chance of being educated, even in the material secular world, which person has a better chance of leading a more civilized life?
One who is educated.
Okay. Is everyone agreeing to Anya Mataji's saying
Yes.
one who is educated?
Yes.
Right. So even in the material way, we can see that it's people who are educated have a better chance of leading more civilized and meaningful life than people who are not educated. They can manage their emotions, they can manage their intellect, their life better. So that way, if we develop the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then it is automatic that we are going to have better chance to develop devotional service. Udara sarva eve te gyani tve atmevat me matam ashtitaha sahi yuktatma mam eva anutamam gatim. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me the highest and most perfect goal. So that is why Prabhupada gave us so much literature. There can be this, I meet sometimes some people who say that if this is my eternal constitutional position and I'm part and parcel of Krishna, then why do I need to read books about it? Hi, and sometimes some people have challenged me saying that when two people get married, do you give them a manual to read that this is how you're going to conduct your marriage? So the question that's posed is that why do you give books to tell me that how am I a part and parcel of Krishna? You're telling me I'm part and parcel of Krishna, I'm accepting I'm not the body, I'm the soul. But why do I need to read about how am I soul and how Krishna is God? What will you say?
That you have forgotten all the knowledge. That is why you need to revive it. How will you otherwise know? It will take a very long time.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll not counter argue. I can counter argue. Okay, thank you very much. So one thing is that okay, the reading will give you more memory back. Okay, thank you. What else? What else? There's a reason that we should have regular reading of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam in our life every day because that's the main goal.
No, we'll be remembering Krishna every moment, right, Mataji? That will also help us to think about our soul.
Okay. So it refines the memory. Thank you. Sharpens the memory. What else?
And the more we understand Mataji, the more we can do more devotional service to Krishna. And to know him, we need to do a systematic study and learning.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you. So it like reinforces my practice by the evidence of the Shastras and Guru. Thank you. What else?
Like every day, it's a new realization from Shastra. So today I may read the same verse, but today realization will be different and tomorrow's realization will be different.
Very nice. Very nice. So actually there is a lot of sharing. By reading, we are doing a lot of sharing by with the words of the Shastras, which actually give us more insight. Very nice. And develop more realizations every day. What else is your reason to inculcate the study of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, which I hope you're doing anyway? It's a hope every day of your life. Between sunrise and sunset, every single day of your life, never a day passes when you have not read Srila Prabhupada's books. What is your reason? Okay, we got good enough reasons. Because it helps me attain my goal. You know, something which is helping me attain. Why do we go to work every day? Why do we eat every day? Am I still hanged? Because I'm sitting in Gita Nagari, so the Wi-Fi is kind of transcendental here. Sometimes, takes off.
Mataji, can I leave? I have to go out.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Sadar Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Ah, bhai. Why do we eat every day? Why do we go to work? People who go to work.
To maintain
Sustain
ourselves,
ourselves.
Mataji.
To maintain ourselves, to sustain ourselves. Because that's the goal, no? That's the goal I have, right? We're meeting a goal. So, by insight, regular reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita helps us walk towards our goal. If we are not doing it, then we fall behind. I remember when I was in college, I had a professor who said, I still remember 20 years have passed now. If you don't read medicine for one day, you're back by 3 months. Oh my God. If you don't read it for one day, you're back by 3 months. Yes, that's how much time it takes. But if we don't read Srila Prabhupada's words every day, I don't know for how many lifetimes we are back up now. Do you want to be backed up? Yeah?
Nope.
You want to be backed
Nope.
up? Then you need to read. Then Krishna says, okay, that person is best and that person is engaged in my transcendental service is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. But is that so easy to become a pure devotee? Is that so easy? That's going to be, it says, but don't think it's so easy. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyante. Becoming a jnani itself is not a guarantee to become pure devotee. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. I learned this verse from Namnesh Prabhu. He shared his realization. He says that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante. Bahuna means many. Janma means birth. Ante means death or end. Gyanvan means one who is in knowledge. Mam Prapadyante means who surrenders to me. So after many births and deaths, one who is situated in the knowledge surrenders unto me. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. What does he understand? Vasudeva Sarvam Iti, or Krishna is cause of all causes. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That great soul is very rare. So he's clarifying after saying that there are 4 kind of people who surrender unto me. Out of the 4 kind of people, he considers Jnani the best. But don't think that Jnani itself, becoming a Jnani itself entails becoming a pure devotee of Krishna, because a Jnani, unless and until they surrender to Krishna by the virtue of their knowledge, they don't become a pure devotee. And to become such, to come to that level of knowledge, to come to the end of that knowledge by virtue of Gyan Yoga is very difficult. Because after many births and deaths, he who is actually knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Okay, so it's not that one becomes a Jnani and then becomes a Devakta. Devotional service is rare. Realization of one fully in knowledge, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization, and then he surrenders. knows that spiritual life is full of activities which are eternal, blissful, and not just impersonalism and voidism. Material world is a perverted reflection of spiritual activities. This is all from Prabhupada's purport. Understand Lord as the cause of all causes and realizes universal vision of Vasudeva. Sees all in relation to Lord, and this vision precipitates full surrender to Krishna as the highest goal. Realizes the dependence on Supreme Lord's mercy. Okay, when trying to give up attachment to materialism, there is some leaning towards impersonalism. Yeah, we have with that, right? Okay, I'll give you an example of being an impersonalist in the beginning of our Krishna conscious. When we are, for example, following 4 regulatory principles, I have realized that at different stages of our Krishna consciousness, we will have different reasons to follow 4 regulatory principles. Okay. So in the beginning, when somebody becomes attached to the devotees, attached to the practice of Krishna consciousness, and wants to fit in, right? Fit in with the category, that person will try their best to follow the. For example, this new devotee, wants to give up drinking coffee. So the beginning reason, and this can't be a speculation, but this is my personal realization, is like this coffee is not going to I'm not going to drink it because it is Maya. And I am not supposed to be in Maya. So that's, yes, yeah. It's like in beginning, we follow this principle because of this, there is this sprinkle of impersonalism because this is Maya. Which is like Krishna, impersonalists say this, no, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. This world is false and Brahma is Satya because this world is Maya. That's why it's false. So, okay, I'm not going to drink this cup of coffee because by drinking this coffee, my Maya existence will increase. I'm not gonna. Okay, when one further advances a little bit, they're following the same regulatory principle, but then they will develop a reason that actually my life is already full of so many complexities in material world. I'm surrounded by complexities everywhere. By developing this addiction, there will be another complexity. So I would rather stay away from these complexities and work on something which is harder but more sustainable in the long run. And then we go further in Krishna consciousness, where the same regulatory principle has been followed, but the consciousness becomes that, you see, do I really need some artificial source of being awake in my life? Because Atma is always awake. Atma is full of activity. There's the energy in my body is actually coming from my Atma, which is getting its energy from Paramatma. So what makes me depend on external reasons to be more awake? What is the reason? There's no reason. There is no rhyme or reason. So why to do something which has no reason? Because this particular element is going to give me pleasure, is a more of passion, no? But it will end in a lot of misery. So I'm not going to do it. So more of passion is happiness or nectar in the beginning and poison in the end, right? And the highest level of devotee, I'm not there yet, so I don't know, but I can see that they will follow the regulatory principles because it pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because it's, they see nothing other than Krishna, because it pleases Krishna. But we are not really doing it because it pleases Krishna. Are we? Are we following 4 regulatory principles because Krishna is so happy that Kirti Mataji did not drink coffee today? She didn't go gambling. She didn't eat meat. There were no illicit relations. Krishna, Kirti, you're so good. Are we doing it like that?
No, Mataji. Like you said, we just want to fit into that category as of now. Still there.
So we can have all our different reasons why we are. So basically, it says that in the beginning, we are trying to give a attachment to materialism, but there is some leaning towards impersonalism. There is. But in advanced stages, we understand that the activities in spiritual life, there are activities in spiritual life, and he becomes attached and surrenders to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because those activities are more pleasing to Krishna, because Krishna is pleased, my Atma is also satisfied. Because the source of Atma is satisfied. That's a very high level though. I don't know what lifetimes will come. Okay, so what did we study in that section? There are 4 kind of people who don't surrender to Krishna, and there are 4 kind of people who surrender to Krishna. That's an external, obvious understanding of what Krishna is saying, but I tried to take you a little deeper and saying that what makes Krishna categorize these things. It's not that Krishna is going to close his door, that because you're Naradma, you cannot come here. No, he doesn't do that. So what makes him categorize? Okay, we tried to dive into it. I don't know if you understood or not. And then we also tried to look that 4 kind of people, he interestingly doesn't spend too much time discussing who are the 4 kind of people who don't surrender to him, but he spends 3-4 verses describing people who surrender to him. Okay, so which also gives us an insight, or gives me an insight in my life that, okay, if somebody doesn't like you, fine, thank you, Hare Krishna, but then go towards something which is more conducive to our Krishna consciousness. Because we are in the world of duality, it will always be there, right? It's not that we have to dig and reason out what is bad in that person, that they're not liking me because I'm such a good person. There's no point. Krishna is not doing it. Is it Gyani is the best? And but then he says Gyani is the best, but Gyani is not the guy who's gonna become a pure devotee, because that is still Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Still Gyani has to go further. Okay. Why Gyani has to go further? Because we understood from this purport. Because in the beginning of transcendental knowledge, there is a tinge of impersonalism. But when the Gyani, by virtue of understanding and activity in devotional service, understands, then they can become a devotee of Krishna. Now we'll finish this section, hopefully. Are you tired? Almost 1 hour is gone. Okay, I'll finish it, okay? And then we'll finish last section later. So others who have no knowledge of Krishna, who surrender to demigods and who are impersonalists. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. The question may be raised that Krishna is the source of Jnana. Krishna, what is that verse in 15th chapter? Matta smritir jnanva pohanam cha. I give the remembrance, the forgetfulness, and knowledge. Right? The remembrance, forgetfulness, knowledge comes from me. The question may be asked that in this particular verse, actually Prabhupada does raise this question in the purport, that Krishna can give me knowledge, so what makes him not give me knowledge to worship him? What makes him give knowledge to worship some demigod? And Prabhupada gives the answer to. What is the answer? If Krishna can give me knowledge, why not give a proper knowledge? Why give knowledge to worship somebody else? Because Krishna can give me knowledge. Am I clear in my question?
Maybe because he is giving us independence, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhupada gives this is because if he is going to force his presence in our life, then there is no question of independence. There is no question of independence. What is that? There's a book called How to Be an Adult in Relationships. Now, don't go and buy that book. I read a part of the book, was very boring. But there is something which came out of it. One devotee actually told me, get that book. Oh God, it was very boring. But there are 5 things which come out of this book, which I really appreciate and has Krishna conscious value. Is that there are 5 ways of a working relationship. Do you know this 5 ways? Any relation between the parent, between friends, between colleagues, between different family members, or between temple devotees, temple present and not a temple present. Let me see if I remember. So 5 A's. One is acceptance. The one is appreciation. The other A is alliance, and other A is acceptance, appreciation, alliance. What are the other two A's? I don't remember. Acceptance, appreciation, alliance. Maybe if I remember it, if Krishna gives me memory. So what I'm trying to say is that one of the characteristic of a good relationship is alliance, which means that we allow each other to act the way we want to act. And I gave this example practically in every class, that if I tell my son, my dear son, I'm your mom, I love you the most in this whole wide world. So now it's 6 o'clock in the morning, get up, you have to go to school, because I love you, this is your life. So poor guy gets up. Says, okay, my dear son, now get up and get showered and come to the temple room and do your prayers. Okay, he does that. Says, okay, my dear son, I love you so much. Now eat breakfast, then go to school. Okay, he does that. And he comes like, my dear son, I love you so much. I'm your mom. Now you have come from school, eat your lunch, and now do your homework and go to your other activities. Okay, he does that. So, and then it is nighttime. I say, my dear son, I love you so much. Now it's time for you to take rest. So I can say, no, I am like, I love my son. That's why I'm saying all this to him. And he's also obeying because he says, my mom loves me. But there will come a point in his life where he will say, Mom, when will you stop loving me? So basically what I'm trying to say is that Krishna doesn't force his presence in our life. The independence to act. He gives like a nice father, like a nice friend, like a nice psychologist, like a nice therapist, like a nice doctor. He diagnoses the problem. He gives the treatment plan, and he gives his support. He gives resources, but he gives independence whether you want to do it or not. So a person who wants to worship demigod, there is a arrangement for them to worship, choose 33 crores are there. One Krishna, 33 crores demigods. And he gives the worship procedure also. But interestingly, the transaction between demigod and their devotees is very professional. It is very professional. For example, if you are working let's say you're working as a head of some department at your work, okay? And then your colleague comes and says, okay, I approve my leave. I have to go on vacation, approve my leave. Are you just going to approve the leave, or are you going to look at how many days they have requested off? Is there a coverage or not? Is the work going to be done in their absence or not? Do they have any pending tasks before they are going for leave or not? And you're going to also assess their performance, their duration of their tenure of employment. Are you going to do that assessment as a head? Or you say, okay, you have come, I'm sitting here, give me a paper, I'll sign, approve. Or are you going to actually do some research and look upon?
We do research.
Okay, now your same person, you go at your home, okay, and then your child comes to you and says, my dear mother or my dear father, whatever the case is, on Saturday, take me to this particular library. Are you gonna now study this? Okay, am I going to take my child to the library to get him this book, or he heard that book? Is that child capable of reading that book? Do I have time to go or not? Are you gonna do all that? Are you gonna do all that transactional thing? Or are you gonna say, okay, my child is asking me to go, and why not go check it out? What will be your, even though you might have gone there 100 billion times before? What is your first, if you want to say no, then say no. What will be your first reaction to your child?
We'll
We'll
agree.
go,
Please
Mataji.
ask.
We'll
Yes,
agree.
Mataji.
You'll go. You will not. So because there's love there, right? There's an emotional connection there. There's love there. So with the demigods, it's like the first case. It's very transactional. We go to Krishna, go to demigods, we have to follow very strict procedures. It's not easy. Strict procedures, strict regulations, strict worship. Put a petition. The demigod sees, okay, checkbook, check mark. They have done this fast. They have done this donation. They have done this. They have done this. Okay, approved. Here you go. Okay, but they don't really have emotional connection like that. But if we go to Krishna, Krishna, give me promotion. 2 years I've not been promoted. Increase my salary by $50,000 a year. Krishna, okay, let's see. Do you have a karma? If one is not a devotee of Krishna and goes to Krishna, they can still go to Krishna, but Krishna will say, okay, you have come here. Do you have a karma for it? Okay, what will you do when you get this promotion? What is your activity like? What have you been doing with your earnings before? Are you giving something to me, or are you using everything for your sense gratification? Or, okay, will this help you to come to me in future? He's going to have his own check mark. Demigods have their own check mark, but Krishna has his own check mark, and he's going to be personally invested. Who would you like to go? Somebody who is transactional or somebody who is personally invested? Where is your heart?
It's personally invested.
We all want personal relationships. We all. How many of us have gone to people in our life with our problems and said, I can't understand, what should I do? Can you help me? Have we all gone to people like this in our lives? Help me to decide. I'm in a mess. Or you have not gone? I go every day, I think. Because we like this personal investment, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is like that. Okay, so endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desire. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. So Krishna is saying, at hindsight, actually you're saying that, okay, all these demigods are giving you this, but they're actually just drawing it from me and then giving it to you. For example, if you go to a cashier on a bank, India में होता है ना, जैसे cashier के पास जाओ बैंक में, and you give a check and say, okay, give me the money. Now, is the cashier going to their own house and bringing the money, or they're just drawing it from the bank and then giving it to you? What are they doing?
From the bank.
But then I start saying, oh my God, cashier, you're so rich. You have so much money. Is that a proper understanding? You're so rich. My God, I asked you for 1 lakh rupees, you gave me. The person behind me has a 1 crore check, you'll give him. You're so rich. Is that proper understanding of a cashier's position?
No, Mataji.
So,
No, the proper understanding is the fellow is just doing his job now. They're doing their job sincerely. We should give them the credit, but they're not the rich. Okay. So men of small intelligence worship the demigod, and their fruits are limited and temporary because they themselves are temporary. They cannot give something which they don't have. Those who worship demigods go to planets of demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Okay, so there are many reasons of going to Krishna. I gave the reason of going to Krishna is, first, Krishna is personally invested. He will take account. And mind you, we don't have to be a pure devotee for seeking Krishna's personal attention. Dhruva Maharaj was not a pure devotee. He became personally invested, right? Gajendra is not a pure devotee. We gave so many examples. We gave personally invested in their Krishna consciousness, in their life forever. It's not just that moment, forever. He remained personally invested from the moment that they came to Krishna for whatever reason. Then Krishna actually gives he fulfills the desire, but he fulfills in such a way that we actually also become purified of that desire. With demigods, the problem is, okay, they are very authoritative, administrative heads of the material world, but there is no purification. We don't see that, okay, person who's going to a demigod for their fulfillment of desire ever gets satisfied with that fulfillment. They keep asking more and more and more, right? But with Krishna, there is satisfaction which is earned. There's this, what is that? Yena Atma Suprasidati. The heart becomes satisfied. The Prabhupada explains in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Atev Shanta. Only a devotee of Krishna is Shanta, satisfied, because the material desires are subdued. We are disturbed because we have desires other than Krishna's service. It leads to disturbance. But if we dovetail those desires to Krishna's service, then we are not disturbed. We become enthusiastic. Okay, and then obviously the final is that I don't stay in this material world and go up and down, round and round. I go where I'm supposed to go. The benefit of going to Krishna. So basis of choice, sorry, I'm so sorry. Intelligence is stolen by material desire, which is lust, and fruits are limited and temporary. Basis of choice of worship depends on different modes and different nature and different demigods. Like, so Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna makes faith steady of the living entity to go to the demigod, and Krishna bestows benefit through demigods to the living entity. And the result of going to demigod is that one keeps oneself in this material world because they are also residents of this material world. Krishna's devotee go to Krishna. Okay, so there are some of the pros and cons of demigod worshippers. What is the nature of a demigod worshipper? Follows Karma Kand section of the Vedas, attracted to material enjoyment and seeks quick result. Oh, I was discussing this quick result. It's like an instant fix. Today we live in a world of instant fix, right? Instant food. What are some of the instant things we have? Instant connection. Initially, write letter, wait. Like now, WhatsApp, right? Instagram. Whatever is happening in my life, share it instantly with the world. What are the other instant things? Go ahead, Mataji.
The quick foods, Mataji, basically that is a big thing of today.
Yeah,
Ready-made
so
food.
instant. Yeah, like instantly. I was discussing yesterday with one person, Ozempic. There's this drug called Ozempic. To lose weight, there's this this drug injection called Ozempic, which actually acts faster than the duration that exercise or diet modifications will act. So, and it's shown good results. So, interestingly, in UK, I was talking to my friend in UK yesterday. She said there's an epidemic of this drug. There's an epidemic that this drug can also be even given by a pharmacist. You don't even need a doctor's prescription to buy it. You just get it from a pharmacist. But we don't know the side effect profile because it has instant effects. In like a week or a month, you can lose 30 pounds or something. It's a significant amount of weight loss. So we want instant fix of our bodies. Instant, right? So instant. Don't do that now. Don't go to UK to buy it. Because we don't know the side effect profile, but it's an example. Now, philosophy in demigod worshippers, the philosophy is that they believe that one who worships a demigod can reach the Supreme Lord. Right? All the rivers lead to the same destination, but that's not true. But that's what they think. Accepts demigod is equal to Krishna, and there are many gods. Right? It says, okay, everybody is one only. Krishna, Brahma, Lord Shiva, everyone is one. A particular demigod is supreme instead of Krishna. This world is meant for enjoyment. That is why I must worship the demigods. Or the goal is dharma, artha, kama. They cannot give moksha, so they don't have that goal. Mentality and attitude, I'm the enjoyer. The demigod worshipper has this. Desire superior enjoyment in higher planets. False prestige and intelligence is lost due to lusty desires. How do they act? They perform prescribed duties. They worship demigods and they perform sacrifices. Result, they achieve higher planetary system, enjoy there, but then when they get exhausted, they come back to the middle planetary system. I can share these slides. I have not made this slide. Slide is given to me by a senior devotee who made it, which I find very meaningful. Okay, so now this is Krishna's prerogative of a demigod worshipper. We are not here to criticize or to delineate or to digress on the main topic or to find fault in demigod worship. We are here solely to understand the position. What is my position in this material world? What is the position of the demigods with respect to Krishna, and what is Krishna's position? Okay, no point in developing a fault-finding tendency. Fault-finding tendency is in what mode? Goodness, passion, ignorance. Array? Or is the internet again gone?
You came back, Mataji. For a moment, it
Oh, I
went
did
like,
go.
just for a moment, we felt like you. Sorry.
Fault-finding tendency is in what mode?
Is it passion, Mataji? Not sure.
I like the way you speak. Question the question. Okay, okay. Passion, what else?
I think
Actually, it's more of an,
yeah, is it more of ignorance? Sorry, go ahead.
more of
Mataji.
ignorance. It's more of ignorance because we really don't know who we are and we really don't know who the other person is. So if we are trying to find fault, or this person looks like this person, dresses like this person, speaks like this person, this like this, it's more like I am in the mode of ignorance, not so much for the other person. And the person who hears a person who is finding fault is also in the mode of ignorance. So appreciating other person is in what mode?
Mode of goodness.
Mode of goodness. There's knowledge there, right? There's knowledge. So appreciation is in the mode of goodness, not like buttering or flattering, but muttering or flattering is more of passion because I have a desire, greed to get something out. But real appreciation is in that mode. So avyaktam vyaktim apanam manyate mam abuddhayaha param bhavam ajanato mam avyayam anuttamam. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So he talks about demigod worship. Now he's changing the gear and saying that it's not just about demigod worship, but the impersonalist are also in ignorance because they have their own conception. Avyaktam vyaktim apanam. So avyakta means not manifested. Vyakta means manifested. So what was not manifested before becomes manifested now. Manyate mam abuddhaya. Manyate means understanding. Mam means me. Abuddhaya means not in knowledge. Buddha means Buddha bhava samanvita. Buddha means intelligent. No, abuddha means non-intelligent. That non-intelligent person thinks of me as that I was not there before, but now I have assumed a personality. Param bhavam ajanato. Janato means janna. In Hindi we say no means to know. Ajanato does not know. Param bhav. What that person does not know? My supreme nature. Param bhavam. Mam avyayam anuttamam. So avyayam word is very frequently used in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? Avyayam means what? Avyayam means which is imperishable. So mam avyayam, I am imperishable, which is not destroyed. Anuttamam. Now this word has a very big origin, uttama, which means that not in tama, which is like the 5th kind of a mode of ignorance. You know, mode of ignorance has 5 levels. The grossest mode of ignorance is tama. So anuttama means which is not in tama or which is supreme, not a part of this world. So avyaktam vyaktim apanam. So manyate mam abuddhayaha. Think of me, that less intelligent person thinks of me that I am not there before, now I have assumed a personality. That person does not know my param bhava, which is imperishable and supreme. Unintelligent men do not know me perfectly, think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. Understood? So This is an impersonalist. He's done with demigod worshippers now, and he's saying impersonalists are ever like that. So how does Krishna interact with them? Let's say there's somebody comes to your house and likes your house, and then likes the decor, likes your temple, likes your serving of prasadam, likes your hospitality. You can see it in their demeanor that they're liking it. But then when you sit down to have a chat with them, they start talking about, the place where your house is, it used to be a cornfield, and there used to be deers and different kinds of animals here. Now there is a house, but who knows what tomorrow will bring? Is that are you gonna say, okay, thank you so much for coming to my house, and I really appreciate your presence in my life? Are you gonna say like that?
No.
I would. So the Krishna knows that this person is thinking of me like this, but let's see what Krishna will do. Where are we getting this response? No, we are getting it from Krishna. How? He says this. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavitaha mudhoayam na vijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. Naham prakasha sarvasya. I'm never manifest to foolish and unintelligent. I'm covered by my eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya, and so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. So Krishna keeps them in the cover because they want to be in the cover. So what is the best response of such a person in your life? Just no response. Because there's no way that this person will understand. No response is the best response. So, okay, you think of me like that, good job. Keep on thinking, I'm not responding. And this is Krishna's love, actually. Okay, it's love, because if Krishna responds and the person is not ready, the person will commit offense, which will put that person even further away from Krishna. So no response. So I'm never manifest to foolish and unintelligent. Na aham. Aham means I. Na aham, I, not I. Prakasha sarvasya. Yoga maya samavitaha. So I am never manifest to such a foolish person. Actually, there is a mix of, the translation is not according to what we are reading in Sanskrit here. Mudo ayam na bijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. So that person, Prabhupada is translating third line in the first sentence, and then he's translating second and fourth line in the next sentence. But regardless, the meaning is same. Naham prakasha sarvasya, never manifest. So basically, demigod worshippers don't want to go to Krishna. They end up with demigods. Impersonalists are envious of Krishna. They never go to Krishna. So out of 4 people who surrender to Krishna, Jnani is best. But if the Gyan is not taking to devotional service, that Gyan is not good. There's no need. So Krishna is not manifest to foolish and unintelligent. Qualification of understanding Krishna, only the devotees can understand Krishna. Except devotees, all consider him as ordinary person. The result of being an impersonalist, do not know that Krishna is avyayam, unfallible, unborn. Krishna hides from foolish and unintelligent, and Lord gets covered by his internal potency. So we want to uncover Krishna, we need to decide where are we going to go. The prayer has to be very sincere. Okay, I'll finish here. So basically what we studied today is Krishna is defining that 4 kind of people who surrender to me and 4 kind of people who don't surrender to me. And out of the 4 kind of people who surrendered to him, who is the best? And is becoming Jnani makes one pure devotee? No, one still has to go a step ahead and become a pure devotee after becoming a Jnani. And he talks about demigod worshippers, and he talks about the impersonalists. And then the last section will be a link to the next chapter. It's only 5 verses, that how Krishna is actually the source of both material and spiritual energies. He'll actually explain in more detail. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections, complaints? By the way, I have a question. Did I share whatever I said I'll share last time? I did not.
No, Mataji, not yet.
I did not share the open book question for practice and the essays for Unit 2.
You haven't, Mataji, not yet.
Okay, then let me just do it right now while we are talking. I'm going to stop sharing the screen and start sharing there. But you can stop go live now, I think. Kirti Mataji. Okay, we can spend 2 minutes. Do you have any questions, reflection, realizations, corrections while I'm sharing?
The 5 ways that you were mentioning, Mati, I just Googled acceptance, affection, appreciation, approval, and attention.
Approval nahi hai. Attention theek hai. Is it from a book, How to Be an Adult in a Relationship?
No, Mataji. There's Google Devta.
Not Google Data.